But it is time to. But now we're done with the very limited news, and now it's time for our tier list. We are going to do a little bit of a vibe check here. Not so much completely ranking teams. We're going to a little bit based off their vibes, maybe post draft. We got to name them in a fun way. So at the top, we got the teams that are cinema to watch. I know that's such a cringe. Along with the other tiers are cringe, but that's the point. It's cinema. We got the dialed in teams. We got the main character teams. We got the NPCs that are just there. We got the You Are Coping teams. And then we got Rossini and Rabel at the bottom. Let's start. We're going to go in alphabetical order because that's how they do it. Let's start with the Arizona Cardinals. And to me, I mean, I could put them at You Are Coping just because of how miserable they've been for years, but I think they fit NPC more than any team I've ever seen because they're just there. Do we really remember anything about the Cardinals? Is there anything memorable they do besides DeMarcado dropping the end zone? They're just there to me.
I mean, Trey McBride's pretty good, but they also just went for Jeremiah Love. So I think NPC is fair.
Yeah, and their freaking quarterback Jacoby Brissett's holding out because he's earned the right to hold out with his average ass. The Falcons. Oh man, this one's tough because I feel like that one could be a You Are Coping because they should be so much better than they were, and they haven't recovered really since 28-3. They have all these expectations, and they fall short every single season. So I would say either there or NPC, but NPC's more the teams that are kind of just exist. I feel like the Falcons do more than exist. I feel like they still choke some games away, like they did against the Patriots, missing an extra point last year. So I feel like they're a little bit more of a special tier to me.
I feel like we expect more from them. I mean, I wouldn't mind if we added a tier between NPC and main characters of we expected something from you and you disappointed sort of idea. Um,
Wow,
but
look at you! Look at you and your creativeness. What a great name! Just flat out put them at mid. The Falcons. The Ravens. Oh man, this one's tough. Really, last season they were mid, but usually besides last year they contend. So I could see them as main characters, which main characters basically are like they're important, but they never win the big one.
I think main
So I
character is
think main
good.
characters fits the Ravens as well as the Bills. I feel like
Yeah.
maybe they're maybe a little more dialed in, but are they really with the moves
Are
they've been
they?
making
Yeah.
with head coach and everything? They feel like main characters too. Maybe they're a bit above Baltimore. I have a little more faith in them than the Ravens right now. But yeah, they're both kind of the same tier of like, oh, elite QB play, Super Bowl expectations, and then lose the playoffs or don't even make it. The Panthers.
Mid.
Man, I feel like they maybe think that they're main characters. I feel like mid kind of fits them because they were 8-9 last year. They almost beat the Rams in the playoffs. They kind of got over the terrible years. Now I feel like they're climbing up the tier and they're just mid.
Yeah. Mid.
All right, I like it. And then they go a little bit above the Falcons. The Bears, man, I think they're dialed in. I think they got a good team for the future. I like what they did in the draft. Last season was just such a turnaround for them. Like I got high hopes for them this year. I don't know about Super Bowl, but I think they could make a pretty good run this season.
The only issue I have is they only did well um, last year. Really, the year before they're like, "Are we going to be good?" And they're like, "Not really." I
Off-season
mean,
champs.
yeah, I think dialed in is acceptable. They got to the second round of the playoffs and lost by 3. So
Exactly. The Bengals, I mean, they like to
main
think they're the
character.
main characters. They probably could go in main character, but like they're the lower tier main character because their
I mean, they're
defense
kind of
is
mid
terrible.
right now because their defense, right? I mean, it'd be fine with mid.
What do you mean they
I
got
think,
sex? What do you mean they got sexy Dexy?
yeah, but like, I think main character would have been perfect like 2 years ago when Burrow was like healthy, performing well. They're doing stuff. Now they're just kind of like they're there.
I'm getting a little more
Yeah,
creative,
go
kind of
for it.
like an who knows? And I think that
Okay, I
perfectly
like.
fits these three teams. Like, who knows? We don't know.
Yeah,
The
I agree.
Browns, I mean, geez, I would honestly either they're coping, but they've kind of been coping forever. So honestly, I feel like they're,
Yeah,
especially just considering their quarterback that they're probably going to start. I think a scandalous guy could perfectly fit a Rashidi and Vrabel type of tier. And it
yeah.
sucks because they had a great draft, in my opinion, but it doesn't matter when you don't know who your quarterback's going to be. Anyway, we got a new tier for the Cowboys. They think they're the main character, but they ask because it's always their year, right? It's always their year. They're going to make the Super Bowl. Jerry always tells us that. But come on, they asked. And I think Quinn would perfectly be supportive of that.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, to be completely fair, their offense was scoring a lot last season. They averaged 30 points a game, and
Quit
they did a
defending
pretty
them.
good job in the draft to kind of try and make up for the defense being atrocious. But I mean, I do agree. But I will say, to be fair,
I can't believe you shame as an Eagles fan. Broncos, I think they're dialed in. I like the Waddle trade
yeah,
a lot. I mean, they did do a whole lot in the draft because they didn't have many picks, but they really don't need to because they're a pretty complete team. We just found out Bo Nix is all good to go pretty much for the regular season. I think they're pretty dialed in. I don't know if they're going to win 14 games, but they're still a good team. Still got an elite defense. I like it. The Lions, they are definitely an who knows because they kind of just fell off after last year or last
yeah.
season, thinking they would at least be in contention for the Super Bowl like they were the past 2 years, and then the defense just fell. The O line really struggled, and they just looked flat, especially the latter half of the season. So they're a shrug emoji team to me. I have no idea how the Lions are going to be. The Packers, I'd put them at the fringe of main characters because they're consistent. They make the dance every year, but they always seem to lose in the wild card. They're kind of like a Steelers almost, like a better version of the Steelers. Always make the wild card just to lose, but they compete at least in those games the Packers. But they're good enough to me to be a main character,
I
especially
think
with
that's
Jordan Love
reasonable.
exceeding expectations. I know the Stroud concerns are there, but I think the Texans are dialed in, man. I got if Stroud could clean it up and the O line could clean it up, especially with the Montgomery addition, I think they're Super Bowl contenders, man. I think they're a really good team that defense can perform even half of what they did last year. I think they'll be a great team.
I'm just a little hesitant with Dowdin because their defense is great, but the offense is just like in the playoffs last year. It felt like the defense was literally dragging the offense. Like, no, you're coming this way and you're advancing. But like, there's not really any other tier that really fits them that well. Stroud should improve, and the O line should get better. I mean, Stroud was good 2 years, 3 years ago, but yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that since it's also not. I wouldn't say they're main characters really, and they're better
Yeah.
than who knows.
So dialed in because I'm the boss and because I have high expectations. The Colts,
Yeah, you're a segment.
man, they're either who knows or they're NPC because they're another team that's kind of just there. Maybe last year was a little different because of Daniel Jones and the hot start, the 8-1 start they had until they collapsed. Now we don't even know if he's coming back for the start of the season. So I would say one of these. It depends if you think the Colts are just there or who knows, but
I
I
think
could see them both.
last year, and who knows, but I feel like for the past few years, it's been NPC. So I'm fine with NPC because it's only been 1 year, and Daniel Jones, like you said, who knows? And Daniel Jones is an NPC, kind of. So
He looks like one. Uh, the Jags, man, I'm gonna put them at the top of that. Who knows too? And I know
because
that
they're
might be
kind
a
of
little
spunky.
I know it's a little disrespectful because they were a 3 seed and had a tremendous year. But hearing about this three tight end set, they had one of the weaker drafts according to experts. I don't know if they're gonna repeat how they did last year. It's not that
Yeah,
I think they're gonna be a bad team. I just don't know.
Who's their running
the
backs?
team is literally exactly, and the team's literally Trevor Lawrence. You don't know what you're going to get out of him year by year.
Yeah, I like that.
The Chiefs. Oh man, this one's this one's tough. I guess I might go again. Might get controversy. I think they might be able to bounce back, and plus, besides last year, they usually are the main characters. 'Cause that's the
Yeah,
lowest I'm willing to put them.
I
I
would put
could
them
put
at the
them at
top of main character.
I could put them at who knows because we don't know if Mahomes is coming back, but I feel like this was
What
kind
is
of a
the
one-off
Chiefs?
bad year. It's the Chiefs. I'm not putting them at the top of main characters though, because if you're Chiefs biased, this I'll put them above the Packers.
Well, I just say that because they've won and been to the Super Bowl the past like what 5 years.
But we're saying right now, what we think.
Yeah,
And
but
right
like for the
now, the
Colts,
Chiefs were 7-10, and
yeah,
the Ravens barely missed the playoffs, and the Bills made the playoffs. So again,
yeah,
my
I just
choice.
yeah. It's just if we're doing just this year, I feel like the Colts. I mean, the Colts are still fine in NPC.
Chargers, man, they're kind of like a fringe main character because they
I'd
make the
agree.
playoffs, but they get destroyed when they make them. They need to fix that O line, and they kind of did in the draft. I believe their second round they drafted a lineman, but he needs to produce on the field. So I'd put them as a fringe main character. The Rams, cinema to me, despite the Ty Simpson pick. To me, they're the Super Bowl favorites right now. I think they're the most complete team. As long as Puka stays out of trouble and Stafford stays healthy, the special teams honestly robbed them from a Super Bowl. They probably would have went there, and the way the Patriots played in that Super Bowl, I bet the Rams would have probably won that game. So I'd put them at cinema. I think they're one of the best teams right now heading in. The
Yeah,
Dolphins, they're coping. They're
they're
coping.
coping.
They're not ready for what's about to happen this season.
Packers
Now,
2.0. Worse.
do they have any receivers at all?
No, maybe they'll get Hill back. You know,
Yeah, I know that's probably been the one. Him and Ayuk have been the two major people that we still don't know what's up with them. So I don't know. Minnesota, they're an who knows because I feel like Kyler's gonna start most likely, but and this team is honestly a contender. I think they are a quarterback away type team. Have they found the right guy though? Who knows?
yeah. I think you could argue slightly vibes are getting better because they actually got a quarterback who can play, but I think it's more of a question mark of what's going to happen.
Uh, it seems fitting with the Patriots. We got to put them at the Rosidi because and Vrabel because of the coach. Just kidding. It's despite the coaching controversies, got to put the Patriots. I'd put them. It's tough. I don't think they're cinema because I don't know
No,
if they'll be that great of a team. But I put them at the top dialed in because they're still an elite team. I still think they can make a deep run. I don't think it was exactly fluky. I know people are saying that because of their schedule last year, but I'd still say they're dialed in. Take away the
yeah,
Vrabel controversy, they're still a good team.
I agree.
The Saints, I'm going to put them at the vibes are getting better. I feel like despite their record being the worst in years last season, it was ironically their best season in years because they might have found their guy at Shook. I like Tyson, their draft pick. I think they desperately needed someone like him because of other injury concerns from other skill positions. I I don't know if they're going to be a playoff team. It is the NFC South, but I think their vibes, like the Raiders, are a lot better.
I think their vibes are better. I wouldn't say a whole lot better. I like them in NPC a little more, but
Yeah, they could be maybe. Who knows? The Giants, man,
I think definitely
this
vibes are
one's
getting
tough.
better. I mean, they got a young team.
Maybe.
John Harbaugh's in
I'd say
there,
so.
drafted well.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. I'm just skeptical in the Giants because they haven't been good in a long time, like an elite team in a
Yeah,
long time, and because of the injury concerns I have for certain players. But I'm
yeah.
willing to switch and put the Giants on the vibes and the Saints being an NPC because they have kind of
Okay,
just been there for the latter half of a couple years.
I like it.
Jets, I mean, they've been coping for how many years?
Yeah,
They've been coping for like almost 15, 20 years. It's almost just a given that they're coping. On to our teams. I am not putting the Eagles at cinema. I don't care what you say, Quinn. They're not a cinema team. I don't even think they're dialed in, but I will put them at the top of main characters because, yes, they won a Super Bowl a few years ago. I do feel like the lemon pick's going to help the AJ Brown trauma. Again, I just don't know with how Jalen Hurts is going to play and just overall the inconsistencies of teams. It is kind of weird how you've had a Super Bowl and a terrible collapse, and then another Super Bowl, and then another terrible collapse. It's kind of been the every 2 years you're elite and not elite. So I would put them. I mean, at the highest, I would go like the end of dialed in, but I don't think they're exactly dialed in after last season. So I'd put them at the top of main characters.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it's fair for either of us to rate our own teams because we're just gonna be biased. I mean, I think the Eagles have a lot better chance this year with the new offensive system. I don't think Hurts is gonna have any problems. It's just the media drumming up issues of, oh, we don't like Jalen Hurts, so let's make up some stuff to talk about. Um, but yeah, we're losing AJ Brown. I get it. I think main character's fair.
9-8, because that's this team. They're 9-8. They're 9-8 every year. They're actually 10-7 every year, but I'm putting 9-8 because it's the Mike Tomlin above 500 meme. That's my opinion of them. It's not who
Yeah,
knows. I don't. The vibes aren't getting better. They're just 9-8. That's it.
yeah. If there was a new category, I would have put them in. Who knows? I think 9 and 8 works because that's what they are.
Makes sense.
Unless
Quinn, you're
unless Rogers doesn't come back.
Quinn, you're not gonna like this one,
Ah,
but
oh,
I'm
great.
putting the Niners at
Niners
cinema.
glazing.
I'm putting the Niners at
Cinema.
cinema.
What are
I'm
you
putting them
on?
at cinema.
Oh my goodness. Worst
On
draft.
paper,
Dylan says cinema.
I know their draft sucked, but they kept Trent Williams around. They have a great team around them. I really think with this division, I think most of this division is cinema, and I'll just go right to Seattle and put them at cinema because obviously they're the Super Bowl team. I think these three teams, this whole division, is going to be cinema and is cinema. They battle each other every year, and the Niners' problem is health. And dude, getting Mike Evans, what a great acquisition. Their defense is going to be healthy again. Let's not forget when the Niners are healthy, they're usually in the NFC Championship or Super Bowl. I know, Quinn, you're going to hate it, but I think this is by far the best division, and I think it fits with the theme that this is the best division and their cinema.
I would say their team started falling apart last year, and then they only did well because they had one of the easiest schedules in the league. But that's fun.
No, it ain't fine to you. I can tell you don't like it.
I don't like it.
uh, Tampa Bay, I'd put them at who knows, because I expected a lot better from them, and then they collapsed at the end of the year and couldn't even make the playoffs. I like Baker. I like the offense. I love the Bane pick. I think he might be one of the best picks in the draft, but they should perennially be winning this division every year easily to me, and they just haven't. So they should be a lot better than like an average record. I hope they'll be, but you never know with this team.
You never know.
The Titans, I'm going to put them at NPC. I know
I agree.
that Cam Ward is there to maybe create some excitement, but the Titans are kind of just there. They're the jobbers to make the better teams in the league look good. They're kind of just there. They're a bad team that isn't like media wise like that paid attention to, like the Browns usually are, or the Jets. They're a bad team that no one really cares about. It's kind of sad, really.
Yeah.
The Commanders, I mean,
They are the epitome of who knows to
who
me.
knows? I think so too. I think they're the
Like,
epitome of who knows because it's injuries. That's literally what it is. It's injuries. It's the team being really old. It pretty much relies on Daniels and if he can recreate the rookie year magic or if he's going to turn into CJ Stroud and have a 1 year wonder. Who knows?
who knows? Not me.
Who knows? Not us till the season. So I pretty much pulled a Wyatt's World and aged a bunch of tiers and made a bunch of tiers. But at Cinema, we got pretty much most of the NFC West outside of the Cardinals. At Dowden, we got the Pats, Broncos, Bears, and Texans. You got the Eagles, Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, Packers, and Chargers as main characters. We think the Raiders and Giants vibes are getting better. Steelers are just 9-8. The Jags, Lions, Bucks, Panthers, Falcons, Commanders, Bengals, Vikings. It's who knows. The Cowboys always think they're the main character, but they ass. The teams that are just there, NPCs, are Cardinals, Colts, Saints, and Titans. The Dolphins and Jets are coping like usual, and the Browns are Rossini and Vrabel.
All right, take a screenshot now, guys. 5-4, 26. Dylan's predictions for the season.